Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Well, I thought I'd do a video on how to rebuild the Traxxas 2075 Servo. This is out of my Redcat RS10. We were out the other day and my son was driving it and both servos got broken. So, servo number one gets to be rebuilt. And I thought I'd do a video on this one on how to do this in case some of you aren't aware, as I know there's a lot of newcomers to my channel all the time and you guys don't know how. So once you've got your servo out, first thing you're going to want to do, make sure you got a screwdriver that fits these screws perfectly, by the way. Very important, right tool for the job. This way you don't strip any screw heads or have any other problems. You're going to undo all 4 screws underneath here. Now you don't need to take the bottom cover off, but I do like to pull out all the screws. This way I can sit the servo flat. And watch out for these little O-rings too. Don't lose those O-rings because they help keep water out as well. Okay, now you got that done. Put your finger on the top of the servo. Hold the servo on the sides, like so. Give it a little wiggle pop. She comes right off. And be careful of your water seal, not to damage that. Pull all this junk out of here. And this center pin, you got to pull it out. Get that gear out. You want to make sure that this is sitting just about centered. Pair of pliers, grab that. Now, the 2072 part numbered kit does come with everything you're going to need. Including instructions. Once you've done this a few times, you won't need the instructions anymore. Now, one thing you want to check for is to make sure that any other little broken pieces of plastic are out of the servo. Because you don't want them in there. And if there's any grit or anything along the sides, just carefully clean it off with a Q-tip. Works great. So this one broke a tooth here. That one got broken. And that one got broken. These seem to be the 2 gears that get nafted all the time. Never seem to lose this gear or the other one for some reason. Just those 2. And they're pretty tough gears. Okay, so now we've got all that out of the way. Get that little piece of plastic. There we go. The pin that you pulled from here, take it. Take your new gear. That just slides right in like so. There's some teeth there on the motor. So you just want to make sure that that gets lined up good. Yep, that's alright. Okay. You got bearings here that are going to have to go in. One bearing goes in the bottom of the gear. Now, I like to use marine grease. This stuff works wonders and doesn't cost that much for a whole whack load of it. Grab yourself a clean Q-tip. I like to put just a little bit of grease just around the bearing itself, like so. Now, very important to line this gear up properly when you do put it back in. And here's the instructions I'm going to show you. They're pretty straightforward instructions. 2018, 2055, 2070. And of course it covers, and then there's your gear placement, how things go in, the order in which they go in. It's pretty easy to do. So if you're not sure, just put it in front of you and you can look at the instructions as you go. So we're going to need, we've got that gear in, so now we want to pop this one in right here. Now this has a tang on it. This tang has to face this way. Just like so. And then your last gear goes in. Now this goes upside down. Just like that. And that's how it should look. And that should be sitting pretty much even. Because inside the plate here, there's a wide swing path. See if I can clean some of this stuff up for you in here. And your servo needs to rotate. See if we can get a good look there. So you'll see like a little stopper block on each side here. And that's where this is going to stop against. That's why you need to make sure that that's centered on there. Okay. Now, take your other bearing here, and you can put it into the plastic if you want first. Doesn't matter. And we'll take the other end of this other Q-tip that's still clean. A little bit of grease inside there. I like to put just a little bit of grease onto the gears. Not a whole lot, because you don't want to slow the servo down, because this marine grease is thick. So just a little bit is all you need. Okay. Yeah, got that one good. So, take your cover, and you'll notice this bearing is going to go on here. So, you know, this, when it comes apart, sometimes the bearing will stay inside the cap, sometimes it'll be stuck on here. Okay. Now, there is also an O-ring. We should actually capture that while we're at it. So, take that and pop that off. We're going to need that O-ring before I forget about that thing. Yeah, the O-ring was supposed to go on the front of this actually. So pop that out. O-ring goes in. And we'll pop the bearing down. Like so. O-ring's in place. So the O-ring goes to the very front, then the bearing. And then snap it back together. Screws. Now I always put the screws just right back in right away, like so. Now this is the important part. These screws have to be snug, but you don't want them really super tight. So I just go until they stop initially, just like that. Now they're just snugged. So from here, it's about 3/4 of a turn, and I go cross hatch. Okay, so one here. Now I go to this one. Like that. That's it, and you're done. Ready to install back into your vehicle and have fun RCing. Anyways, so if you have any other questions, which I doubt, but you know, if you do, feel free to ask. But that's how you do the 2075 servo. And like I said, this does cover other servos too. But if you look at the diagram, they're pretty much all done the same way. You know, boom, 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 boom. Anyhow, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.